What's going on, guys? This is Burrs. I want to talk to you today about the PHLster skeleton holster. This is a minimalist inside the waistband holster, which is made for appendix carry, but I've also used it not in appendix carry, and it works perfectly fine for that as well. The thing you're going to notice with PHLster and the quality that comes out of the shop there, and based on the one I have here, is very good. And that's kind of the same thing I've heard over the course of talking to people and having other people that I know that have these. The quality is going to be excellent, and we'll go into that a little bit further in the review here. The thing that I like about this is a few things, and these are very big things when you're looking for a holster. Number one, the sight channel here for your gun. As you can see, there's plenty of room there if you have extra, okay? That's when I'm saying extra, what I mean is if you have big sights or newer sights or different sights, whatever kind of bigger sights you put on here, it's gonna fit those. And that's a huge thing that some manufacturers miss than what PHLster does. And the same thing can be had for a few other great products on the market. And that's kind of what separates a good holster from a not so good holster. When I say not so good, my main point is it isn't innovative to a degree. It's not adaptable because you can't use it with multiple sights. Say I have a few Glocks, and today I'm going to use a Glock that has different front sight that's bigger, and now I can't get it in there because it doesn't have that cut out for it, but the skeleton holster does. Now when it comes to the actual construction, this is made of 0.08 Kydex. It's made very well. You can see on the inside it's nice and shiny, and it's nice and I'd say easy on your gun, but the fit of it is perfect for the gun, so there's no scraping or anything like that. So all the people out there who get tearful over having their gun have a scrape or a cut on it, you really shouldn't have to worry about that with this holster because it's fit properly and it's fit perfectly, and it's nice and smooth on the inside. Now what this comes with as far as keeping it on your belt is a belt loop. This is actually a nylon coated belt loop, so it's actually really good. As far as using it, at times it can be a little bit of a problem to get it off. I wouldn't say a problem, but it's definitely hardcore. So once you get this thing on here and you get it snapped, it's not going anywhere. So you don't have to worry about that. The strut that it's on, is relatively strong, and it's riveted permanently in there. I think they actually made a change where they're going to use a different strut now than what they use with this, but this one's permanently riveted on there, and I haven't had any problems with it breaking, and it's very strong, and the belt loop stays on there really well. I do have some nylon threading here, or some nylon coming out here. That's not a big deal. I'll cut that off at some point. And it hasn't affected anything since I've been using it, because I've been saying I'm going to cut it for a while and I just haven't. But let's take a look at the quality of this first off. As you can see here, the quality of this is very good. You can see all the edges are nice and smooth and nice and polished. And that goes the whole way down the holster. You can see it right here as well. You can see that shine come off of there. And that's one thing I like, is the finished product here that is shipped out by PHLster is always top notch. You can see also when it's in, it's locked in very well. There's not room for any kind of debris to get into the trigger area. And that's also a positive. Some holsters that you see out there will have a lot of area and room for stuff to get in. You don't have that here. Plus, when you keep this as tight into the gun as possible, you're going to have a very thin profile, a very slim profile, and that's kind of what you have here. Now, this is not a full encompassing design. It is cut off at the end, so you don't have to have Kydex all the way down your pants or anything like that. You're going to have that ability to again, keep it kind of streamlined. The one note that I have, and I have talked to John over there at PHLster about this, is right here where the magazine release is. I think it's just a little bit too close. I think you could potentially have a problem. Through my carrying and everything, I've never had a problem, but that is super duper close to the magazine release, and I think it, at the right moment, possibly something could happen, but haven't had a problem with that yet, so I can't say it's a problem. It's just something I noticed, trying to be critical of the product I'm reviewing here. Now, one thing that I will compare this to is basically my ultimately favorite design, and that's the incog. The incog is, it's basically what things are matched up against nowadays as far as inside the waistband, and particularly bumping the camera like professionals do. That's what I'm going to do. Bump it all day long. Getting back to the incog here. The incog is basically something that came on the market and is, bar none, probably the best holster as far as inside the waistband and appendix carry go. Now, when you look at these two, you can see there's some similarities and there's some not. You know, you have, you know, a little bit here, a little bit more kydex over here, or a little bit more material over here. You have a little less material over here. They both, you know, adapt for the sights, and they both, you know, lock in very well. They have a little bit of different as far as the belt system here, where you have a clip versus a belt loop. Both work perfectly fine, and have no problem with that. Now, the one thing I will say about this skeleton is, you know, the retention on it is very good. The one thing I love about the Incog is the retention. You know, it goes in and comes out, you know, and you can even adjust that, you know, very smooth and all that. And you bring this the skeleton in, and it has the same thing, okay? Nice and smooth, it goes in, you have a nice positive audible click when you put it in there, and it comes out very smooth. So a lot of holster makers that I see, probably at least half of them have problems with the retention. When I say problems with it, what I mean is it's really, you know, way too much tension. Once you get this into your belt line, once you get this on the belt, it's gonna tighten down somewhat. And I think, you know, having a holster that's, oh yeah, it's nice and tight, it's real good, and then you put it in your waistband or on your belt, it's gonna be a lot tougher to get it out. So, you know, that's just one thing I noticed, that this has really great retention, very positive and audible click when you put it in, and I really like that. As far as it goes with printing and such, this is a very slim design. It does not really print very much at all, and, you know, printing is based on, you know, a lot of people will say, oh my god, my gun's gonna print. I don't really have a huge problem with it, because people are using all kinds of cell phones and all kinds of devices nowadays that they clip onto their belt. So I think it's kind of over exaggerated to be worried about printing, but there's different body types out there, etc., etc. And this is a streamlined design, very thin, very slim, and, you know, it's very formed to the gun, so there's no extra wasted space. So as far as printing goes, with your weapon, you know, you can also move this this belt around to wherever you want to move it, and you should have no problems there. So, you know, the way I usually run it is with a little bit of a cant like this, and you know, it tends to work. Actually, hold on, like this. You know, I have a little bit of a cant to it, and, you know, that's the way I usually run it. I don't run it straight up and down, and I'm not a huge appendix carry person. I just not a fan of it. But as far as just a regular holster, you know, appendix or not, great idea, and slim design, which keeps the printing, you know, at a minimum. So craftsmanship is top notch with this. It's what you're gonna get. You're gonna spend around $40 for this, which is an excellent price in my opinion. You're gonna get it shipped out relatively quickly. They are working on trying to get these out a little bit quicker and using different methods, and kudos to them for doing that and trying to get their turnaround time a little bit better. But as far as the construction, you have the rivets here, you have all the polished, you know, parts here. The inside and how it's formed to the gun is just excellent. And I think if you're looking for inside the waistband, I think these two right here are definitely ones you're gonna wanna look at. If you're kinda on the less, you know, you don't wanna spend as much, I definitely would recommend the skeleton. It's an excellent holster, excellent retention. You know, it's really squared away as far as, you know, inside the waistband an appendix carry goes. So if you're not willing to spend, you know, a little bit more, I think it's about $10 or $15 more for the Incog, and you want to go get something a little bit cheaper, but it's going to, you know, do the exact same thing pretty much that the Incog does, I definitely recommend the skeleton holster. I think it's a great holster. I've used it for, I think, 4 months now, and I haven't had any problems with it as far as functionality, drawing the gun from at the range and such. No problems whatsoever, made very well, and a good product. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know. If you have a skeleton holster, go ahead and put a comment down below, as they're always welcome. And until next time, later.